at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our April 20th, 2025 edition of Open Mic America. I'm Rich Fassler, your MC for tonight's show, and I'm joined by Mike Simpson, our interviewer, and Daphna Ramil, our engineer tonight. Usually joining us behind the scenes is Capo Dave Williams, the founder of the show and the creator and builder of Dandy Hybrid Guitars, which we'll hear a little more about later. But unfortunately, Dave is a little under the weather, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And if you know Dave, please feel free to send him a quick note to lift his spirits. Our mission at Open Mic America is to support your local open mics, where you can go to see songwriters performing their original music in person. Tonight, thanks to Zoom technology, we can travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own homes. Without any gimmicks, without any frills, this is the DNA of American music, the tapestry of song and story that has been weaving us together for generations. Also tonight, we've got some friends of our performers who are also in our Zoom meeting, and so we want to welcome them as well to be part of our audience tonight. So listen, get comfortable, and I'll introduce tonight's performers. By the way, you can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. So, tonight's show features, and feel free to wave performers, Marylyn Coffey from Huntsville, Alabama, Thea Hopkins from Boston, Massachusetts, Topher Gale from Santa Rosa, California, Hallie Hammer from Berkeley, California, Teeyum Smith from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Timothy Merkel, Longmont, Colorado, Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont. And we'll end up the show tonight with Pat Buckner from Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. So let's start tonight's show with our first performer, Marylyn Coffey from Huntsville, Alabama.
Hey.
She performs at the Dog Bar on Wednesday nights, and she plays at the Huntsville Traditional Music Association open mic one Thursday a month. Plays at the Liquor Express open mic on Friday evenings, and recently opened as a duo for another local act at the HTMA monthly concert. So, Marylyn, super busy. I'm glad you could make it here. Take it away.
Okay, I'm going to do two songs that are very recent that I wrote. This one is about me, I guess. I don't usually like to write about myself. Okay. Back in the day, I had nothing to say, and I said it mostly at night. Lost in my stories, caught in a play. Did anyone witness it's all out of sight? Back in the day, a smile on my face for those who would get up and dance. Bodies and mind-altered states of grace, innocence taking a chance. We should have been wary, should have taken heed. We could have been searching for truth, or maybe just settling down to breed. Instead, we were wasting our youth. Back in the day, I sure got away with every transgression at hand. Could anyone stop me? Why would they try? Comic book ventures unfold on demand. Now I hardly remember that old gang of mine, the workplaces, bars, and flirtations. But those were the milestones, the markers in time that sure look like pure devastation. Oh, I could have had fortune, could have made a name, should have been grasping success. Property, children, something to claim. Instead, I made a god-awful mess. But really, I ask you, what's wrong with right here? My back in the day tune is now. At least I can say I've quit fearing the years, and life dances with me, I just don't know how. I just don't know how.
Great words. Very nice.
Thanks. That was a waltz, in case you didn't realize it. This one is about social anxiety, and I don't think it's about me, because I'm not that bad about it. It's called Party Favor. Storms of ambient emotion, waves of other people's thoughts, norms of social interaction. Can I get some traction? Can I keep my place? Who are these ladies and gentlemen? What are their names again? Phineas, Bridget, Wanda, and Ken. Can I make the scene? Can I be someone? How real is this dream? Is this what they call fun? I am not like you, I'm tossed by many winds, but the fearless in you keeps me here. And the fearful in me tries again. You'll say it doesn't really matter, and she'll say, oh hun, just be yourself, and you'll play until you drop the ball. Your coat is in the hall. It's not some kind of race. Oh, I get it now. It's time to go. Should I say yes or no to Alexander, Eleanor, the same? Can I be someone? How real is this dream? Is this what you call fun? I am not like you. I'm tossed by many winds, but the fearless in you keeps me here, and the fearful in me tries again. Thanks for taking me to this party, baby. Thanks for the party favor.
Yeah. Great tune. All right. Thank you, Marilyn. Great tune. Let me pass you over to Mike Simpson now. We can learn a little bit more about your music.
Okay.
Right. Maryland Coffey. Very nice. So,
Thank you.
Huntsville, Alabama. So that makes you an Alabama rocket, right? That's,
We have rockets here. We got your rockets. We got your shuttles, space shuttles. We got your defense contractors. We got your NASA.
and singer-songwriters. So,
Yeah.
where were you originally from?
I was born in New Jersey, moved to Massachusetts, lived in Massachusetts till 1981. So
And then
I've been here.
Alabama.
Yeah, I've been here for a while because my dad worked here.
All right. So that first one, back in the day,
Yeah.
that was a really, really well constructed, really lovely display from your memory of what's going on there. What, how much of that is, sort of at the heart of what's going on with you?
Well, it's sort of accurate. I mean, I did get into trouble. Um, mostly in Massachusetts. So
All right.
when I was a teen and I guess early 20s, yeah.
And what kind of trouble are you making nowadays?
Um, not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough, no.
All right. Yes. Well, I really like that song. That is something like my story to some degree.
Yeah, I
And
mean, lately I've been obsessing with, because of the aging process and that sort of thing. I'm obsessing with the stuff I didn't do. And, chances I missed and how I screwed things up, opportunities. But, like, we don't know. That maybe just be a way to feel like I could have been a contender.
you could have been. All right. And then Party Favor. My take on that is that you're talking about kind of universal fears. What do you think about that?
Well, I would hope not. I would hope that some people have more confidence than that. Some people. But I kind of sort of hinted that the person who has taken this fearful person to the party, I kind of hinted that they also wanted to leave in a hurry because they had run out of things to say.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there was a hint in there of that. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
right. You're probably right. But I'm hoping there's at least 3 confident people in my environment that I can depend on
Yeah.
sometimes.
Keep things moving.
Yeah.
All right. Well, lovely songs. It's great to hear you. You doing any big gigs real soon now?
No, we should have a discussion about this afterwards. Like, I don't know how to get gigs.
Ah.
And I'm I do what I can. I was put together with this other person to do a duo recently, and that worked out really well. So but I don't know how to do it.
Uh-huh. Well, that's a
That's a common complaint. All right, I'm going to send you back to our host. Thank you very much. And here is
All right.
Rich Fassler.
All right, great. All right, we are going to now travel from Alabama north to Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to hear Thea Hopkins, who incidentally will be playing in Hadley, Massachusetts, at the Porter Phelps Huntington Museum on June 18th, and at Global Fest at Lincoln Center in New York City, on August 2nd. So, Thea, take it away.
All right. On this day, without a sound, drops of rain fall on dry ground. And every prayer that never heard is answered. Every word. Love, come down. Love, come down. Hold my hand, and I'll hold yours. The remedy, a simple cure. In this world, where wrong has might, many times turning day to night. Love, come down. 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 Come down. Come down. Come down.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous.
Very nice.
It's a song I wrote called Love Come Down. This next song I'm going to do, it's a song I wrote about my great aunt Tamsin Weeks. I'm a member of the Quinawampanoag tribe of Martha's Vineyard, and my great great aunt Tamsin Weeks was an Quinawampanoag medicine woman, and she was known throughout New England for her remedies and cures, and folks would come over from the mainland to seek her out. So. walks alone, gathering leaves and twigs. She'll dry them in the sun as the daybirds sing, temps and weeks. Fevered brows, broken hearts, temps and weeks. No woe is what you need when life falls apart. Have a sip of her brew, ghost tea it is called. Sweet fern milk not quite burned, it'll turn your troubles around. Temps and weeks, fevered brows, broken hearts, temps and weeks. No woe is what you need when life falls apart. Wampanoag who knows the earth and its healing ways, secrets passed down to her from Indian yesterdays. Temps and weeks, fevered brows, broken hearts, temps and weeks. No woe is what you need when life falls apart. No woe is what you need when life falls apart. No woe is what you need when life falls apart.
Cool. Very nice. All right, Thea, both of those songs are great. Let me pass you over to Mike Simpson, and we can learn a little bit more about you and your music.
All right. Great stuff. I mean, don't
Thank
really
you, Mike.
need to say that. Everybody gets it. But wonderful things. So, Wampanoag, you guys are kind of adjacent to some people that I know from my childhood who were Lenni Lenape. You guys are, I think, kind of tribal neighbors, yeah, up there.
Yes, we are, absolutely.
Yeah. Wrong has might.
Yes.
In the first song. That line just jabbed me, you know. I mean, you're not wrong. Wrong, it does. But I love the overall corpus of the song being about love and serenity, triumphant. And you know, in this time, any positive songs, we're clinging to them. What
Yep.
What brought that one on?
Well, it's a song that that I wrote after I played over in the UK, you know, several times in recent years, and I found community with people that I had not ever met before, and I believe in, you know, I believe that we're all connected, and I think that we're all here to learn to understand that, you know, we're all at different places at different times, and so that's what inspired that song, and I truly believe that love is the answer, compassion, empathy, and so that's what inspired the song.
All right. Well, it comes across very clearly. So, a lot of your press takes the direction of talking of you as the Wampanoag singer-songwriter. How annoying is that?
Well, it's I think, you know, it's, you know, in this age of you know, just trying to find the shortest way of describing somebody. I mean, I understand that, and it's a very it's a very important part of who I am, and it, I, the older I get, the more I reconnect with my tribe and with my Native American identity over the last, I would say, 6, 7, 8 years or so. I've really connected with the indigenous community here in the United States and in Canada, and this past year in Australia, and so I feel very, very, very firmly rooted within the indigenous community here, and beyond these shores too. So
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, one of the things that popped into my head with the second song was that the person that you're talking about there reminded me very much of an Aboriginal lady that I met through Christina Olson, who was a what do they call her? I want to say it isn't ground. It wasn't earth. It was something, but something grounded sounding, healer, from that tradition in there, and that reminded me very much. I want to ask, has your person that you wrote that about heard the song?
oh no, that was my great great aunt. She was in the early part of the 20th century. She's written about in New England history books, and she was known throughout New England for remedies and cures, and so I'm aware of her because of that, and the second verse of the song is an actual recipe for ghost tea, and that was used to help you with stomach ailments, and she was so it's very much a part of the idea of using nature to heal you, which is very powerful, as we all know. Just taking a walk in the woods is healing.
That's right. How about your elders, your tribal elders? Have they heard that song?
Yes, folks have heard it, and so they have responded to it, and I appreciate. I write songs about Native issues and not non-Native issues. I'm recording a new album right now, and so I combine both of those things on the album. So.
And I should point out that she has a very strong web presence. Thea does, and I listened to several songs and was delighted that I had spent the time. It was
thank you.
It was a good thing. All right, thank you very much for coming and playing with us. Now, this is not your first time here, is it?
I think it was a while back. I was here. It was a couple of years ago when we were all kind of interned.
Yeah, locked in our boxes.
Yes, yeah.
Indeed. All right, well, I am going to turn you over to Rich Fassler now, and we'll have
Thank you,
that
Mike.
happen. Thank you.
Pleasure speaking with you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Thea. Great music. So we are going to now go from the East Coast to the West Coast. And we're going to go to lovely Santa Rosa, California, and listen to Topher Gale. And Topher tells me he doesn't have any gigs coming up in the near future, but he is thinking about recording some new material. And in the meantime, you can check out some of his tunes and a little bit more about him at www.tophergale.com, TOPHERGAYLE. And you can also go to tophergale.bandcamp.com. But in the meantime here, we've got him on Open Mic America. So Topher, take it away.
Well, thank you very kindly. And maybe someday I'll have a gig again. Who knows? Anyway, I mean, I used to have a lot of them. Not so much anymore. This one's for everybody that's got a cat. Do you have a cat? This is for you. Well, welcome to my house. I hope you enjoy your stay. But you know it's my house. It's gonna stay that way. I push this stuff over and I knock stuff down. I'm the craziest little kitty anywhere around. I'm your puss, puss, puss. I'm your itty bitty kitty. You scratches my chin and you sings me a little ditty. Then you cleans out my poo and tells me that I'm pretty. How-oo. You know, at 3 in the morning I gallops down the hall. I pounce on invisible spiders and I jumps up and slaps the wall. I walks on your face and I licks your eyelids. When you finally gets up, I denies any knowledge. I'm your puss, puss, puss. I'm your itty bitty little kitty. Well, you tease me with the laser and you taunt me with a ball. You lucky I don't chomp your ankles when you walking down the hall. Well, I bites the little birdie. I mauls the little mouse. I gnaws on 'em a while, then I drags 'em in the house. You better feed me on time, you better feed me canned. You think I'm crazy now, things gonna get way out of hand. I'm your puss, puss, puss. I'm your itsy bitsy kitsy. You hooks me on catnip and laughs when I drool. I wanna know just who is the predictable fool. Raoul. Well, I tolerates your transgressions. I puts up with your silly clothes when you tries to take my picture and you tries to make me pose. But that ain't right, no, that ain't right at all. And that's when I commences to hacking a big old hairball. I'm your puss, puss, puss. I'm your itty bitty pretty little city kitty. That's what you call me. You takes me to the vet and you pays a giant bill. Then you bring me special treats till I've had my fill. I'm your puss, puss, puss. I'm your itty bitty kitty. I'll let you live here with me, but let's make one thing perfectly clear. You ain't make me eat that dry stuff and you'll be out on your ear.
Great lyrics. Great.
Well, I'm glad you like it. If you got a cat, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, but I'm not sure I want one now.
All right. Well, there's a class of ballads popular in bluegrass music, and I've played a fair amount of bluegrass music. That's called murder ballads, and usually it's she done him wrong, so he killed her. And I don't particularly care for those songs, so I wrote my own kind of version. It's called Eleanor. How's it start? Oh, that's the problem. I had the page 1 in front of page 2 and page 2 in front of page 1. All right, sorry about that. That was highly unprofessional of me. Eleanor, prettiest girl I ever seen. Eleanor, you treated me so mean. You keep on coming back, though I dearly want you gone. Eleanor, Eleanor. I threw her from the cliff and I heard her frightful yell. I knew that my bad temper would send me straight to hell. I went back home and poured a glass to numb my tortured soul. I knew my fate was sealed and I'd pay an awful toll. I'd pay an awful toll. And as I sat a-drinking and a-waiting for the law, I knew I'd spend my life in jail just like my dear old pa. But even so, my jump when the sound came at the door, Imagine my surprise when in walked Eleanor. In walked Eleanor. I took her to the river and I threw her in to drown. I watched her lovely body as it went a-floating down. I wish I'd never seen how she was kissing him. Even more, I wish I'd known just how well that she could swim. Who knew she could swim? I fixed a nice warm bath for her, and when she was relaxed, I tossed in the toaster with the lever set on max. The steam had filled the bathroom, and I knew then I was free. But the breaker blew, and she showed her indestructibility. Indestructibility. I tied her to the railroad tracks. The moon it sank so low. My tears they fell like rain as I heard the whistle blow. The bindings tight, I checked the knots so that they might not fail. And as the train approached, I stepped away from that rail, that fateful rusty rail. I staggered as I heard her throaty chuckle from the side. "You can't kill me," she said, and then she vanished in the night. I tripped and fell across the track, the tears all down my face. I struggled but was tied there by my very own bootlace, my leather bootlace. Eleanor, prettiest girl I ever did see. Eleanor, strong like iron, tall like tree. I gazed into your eyes as I plotted your demise. Eleanor, Eleanor. I tried and tried and tried, couldn't find the cyanide. Eleanor, Eleanor. I just had to do you in like a little Anne Boleyn. Eleanor, Eleanor. Turns out murder's pretty hard. Now I'm hoist by my petard. Eleanor, Eleanor. Dreadful sorry, Eleanor.
You're killing me. Oh, what a great tune. What a great tune. All right, let me pass you over to Mike Simpson. We can find out a little bit more.
Well, okay.
What are you going to ask me, Michael?
Well, I wonder if you're familiar with the phrase "dogs have owners, cats have staff."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, your song is a marvelous thing there. But yes, I see you. The cat that was listening to you play that over there, Felix, he was unhappy with you because of Daphne's comment that now she doesn't want a cat.
That's
So
sad.
he suggested that you should probably pay some penance by roasting some white meat turkey and giving it to your cat.
I'll have to get a cat.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are following the old adage of writing what you know about.
Well, yeah, and as a person who's allergic to cats, the part where it walks across my face was altogether too real. And you get out of bed when you're allergic to cat, and it does that.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'll tell him, Felix. Felix wants me to point out that it's been clinically demonstrated there's no such thing as an allergy to cats. There's only moral weakness. And
Good for Felix.
I do have cats. I like the song very much. What if you don't have a cat right now? What caused that to pop up on your writing radar?
Damned if I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Good enough. Murder ballads.
Well, okay, now that's one. It's really an attempted murder ballad, is what I would.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I like that song partly because it's very revelatory of the Topher Gale style of writing, which often has some kind of fairly classic, not necessarily overtly complex musical underpinning, followed by lyrics that are just kind of crazy, crazy good, crazy, do you in and Anne Boleyn. You're not going to hear that a bunch of times from other songwriters. No, that kind of stuff.
True enough.
Now, what do you, when you're writing on that kind of thing, are those what get you started? Those kind of little things?
Not even a little bit. That line in particular was added after I performed the rest of it. That whole that little coda there was an idea that came from playing this at the open mic that you and I have joined in another time. And someone gave me another one of those. It was the one about Hoist by Your Petard. And I realized that I just needed to have 4 or 5 of those. So I came up with Anne Boleyn.
Yeah. Bill Palmer, I think it was.
It might have been.
Yeah. Bill Palmer's a guy who's played on Open Mic America here. So, and anyway, so what do you think is going to be the central notion, the organizing principle, as it were, of your what you're recording?
Well, I'm not, but if I do, I have a whole lot of new stuff, and I've got some old stuff that no one's heard, and so some of it would be not a CD because you can't get rid of them.
No,
I have
pointless
a lot of them.
nowadays. Yeah.
So there would be a section that's rock and rolly, and section that's acousticy, and a section that's sort of easy listening. But if you listen to the lyrics, you realize it's not that easy after all. And
I think you're just the man to do that. Well, Topher, full disclosure, I've known Topher for quite a while and pretty well.
I was thinking about it. It's been about 23 years, I think.
Maybe a hair longer than that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I met you in 1999, but
no, it was at least 2001. But it's been a pleasure the whole time.
Well, thank you very much, and likewise, right back at you. And now I'm going to turn you right back over to our host.
All right. Well, it just goes to show you that time flies when you're playing music. So we are going to stay in Northern California. And we're going to, Santa Rosa. So go down a little south to Berkeley, California. And we're going to hear Hallie Hammer and Randy Burge. And you guys sent me some information on where you're playing, but I'm not sure if it's for both of you or just one of you. But
well,
anyway,
I usually show up. Sometimes he does.
Oh, okay. So you can catch her and maybe him 1 or 2 times per month at the Freight and Salvage Open Mic, third Fridays at BFUU Open Mic, and Fridays 5 to 6 at the Ashby and College Indivisible Rallies. So
yes,
you are both here tonight, so
All
take
right.
it away.
Okay, so this is a song that's an homage to my friends and family. 1, 2, 3, 4. There was a time when I sought fortune and fame, hoping everywhere I'd go they'd recognize my name. And if that dream came true, then happiness would flow. Just shows how much of life I didn't know. But now I'm older, more secure within myself. Those plans are folded and stored on memory's shelf, my recognition wide as the circle of my friends, satisfaction greater than it's ever been. There's not a day goes by without appreciation for this life with family and friends. There's nothing that is missing from the days of my life. liked my job. Each day I learned something new. Now I've retired and still have much to do. I walk in winter, there are flowers all around. I hear laughter, I hear music, those joyous loving sounds. There's not a day, not a day goes by without appreciation for this life with family and friends. There's nothing that is missing from the days of my life. I know the world's not perfect, so I work to make it right. When you're chipping at the darkness, you let in a bit more light. I'm not forgetting my mistakes or the things I've left behind, but I try to let the positive take root within my mind. I breathe the beauty of this sacred earthly home and the goodness of most people. Wherever I have roamed, I meditate upon the essence of the awesome truths I've found, of the smiles and all the kindness that abound. There's not a day goes by without appreciation for this life with family and friends. There's nothing that is missing from the days of my life. There's not a day goes by without appreciation for this life with family and friends. There's nothing that is missing from the days of my life. That is missing from the days of my life. Let me just move this back a little bit so you can see us more than
get rid of the computer screen. Real Cavern Club shirt there from Liverpool.
There you go.
And this song here is one I wrote several years back. The important thing about this song is for every 4 lines of things that are wrong with the world in this song, there are 8 lines of things that are right.
Yeah.
And it's got a very easy sing-along chorus, so mute yourselves and sing along with me. And here's the chorus. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. In a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, I'm glad that there are people like you. In a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, I'm glad that there are people like you. There is global warming, mass pollution, governmental prostitution, defilement of our constitution, soul and body destitution. But there are those who will aid anyone who undo ills that have been done, who make the time for helping one-on-one, who can change the world and still have fun, who feel empathy is an attribution, and love should be shared without dilution. Those who make a contribution and are not the problem but the solution. In a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, I'm glad that there are people like you. In a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, I'm I'm glad that there are people like you. There are homophobics and racism, unjust laws and crowded prisons, fundamentalist religions, selfishness and egotism. But there's the humble genius, the honest seeker, the ones who cheer you when life gets bleaker, the demonstrator, the peacekeeper, the optimist and the thought leaper. And there are those who will share anything, whose winters look a lot like spring, who take the needy beneath their wing, and those who sit with friends and sing. In a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, in a world gone mad, I'm glad that there are people like you. Oh, 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 oh. In a world gone mad. In a world gone mad. In a world gone mad, I'm glad that there are people like you.
Great. That is a great song.
Thank you.
All right, let me pass you guys over to Mike Simpson now.
Well,
Hi.
here we all are together again.
All right. Hi again.
Ellie and Randy, good to see you again, guys.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, I must, however, chide you a little bit. Again with the cheerful song, young lady. I mean, don't you know we're all doomed? I picked that up off of a place in England that I occasionally do, online open mics with it, and someone ostensibly seriously said that to one of the players who played a song about how we're going to make it through this. We have our dreams, we have our hopes, those will carry us home, kind of a thing. So I just had to. I thought you were just the right person to share that with.
Oh, she has a parody of the Gloria Gaynor "I Will Survive" song.
Yeah, I have.
So we're not
others.
all quite bright and cheery.
But these days we can use all the ha-ha we can get. So.
Yeah, and all the uplifting, hopeful stuff that we can get. So I'm gonna swing a little away from what I've asked some of the other people, because I've asked those questions of you before. Why do you think, and I'm not trying to poke at your religious beliefs or anything, or if you even have any, but why do you think you're here? Why do you think you have these songs, and what do you think those of us who have similar songs should be doing with them?
Well, I think we should be getting out. It's very hard to get things published these days unless you do it yourself. But the important thing is to get out there and sing your songs. I do a lot of singing on the street these days, and I share songs with people on the street. I do videos. I have a bunch of videos that are on YouTube, and I share the links with people. As far as my religious beliefs, I pretty much have none. but I do have spiritual beliefs. So that's more important to me than the religion, is the spirituality. And I think it's really important for us in these dark times to put as much light out there as we can, because we do have dark times right now, and we have to get through them.
All right, Randy, what do you say?
I forgot the original intent of the question. Pretty much the same as her. I mean, I work with her on her tunes. I haven't really been advancing any of my material that much, but again, just trying to rally people. We seem to both agree on the positive end of things as a way to proceed, as opposed to being out there ranting and railing like Rage Against the Machine or something. So just, uplifting people either out at demonstrations or open mics or concerts. She's in a group with two other women called the Resistors that do a lot of political parodies and concerts in the Bay Area. There's one coming up next month. So just variety of ways, whatever we can.
Well, what makes me feel good is when I send somebody a link to something, and I feel like some of my songs can get pretty snarky but I always try to put something hopeful at the end. And I get a note from somebody, you made my day. I was really feeling down and I feel better now.
Excellent.
So that's the best I can do for anybody.
All right, Hallie Hammer, it's working. By the way, this I'm asking mostly for Topher. The Resistors, how many ohms of impedance are you?
Oh, we're way up off the charts.
Off the charts.
Off the charts, yes. Yeah. Well, you have been for years on the top of my charts, so I always love hearing you play. And thank you for coming and sharing stuff with us here. I'm going to send you back around.
Looking forward to all the others.
All right. Yeah, great tunes. Hey, listen, here we are. We are halfway through tonight's show. I know you can't believe it, but yes, we are. And you're probably wondering, now we got 4 more great performers to go, but you're probably wondering, how can life get any better? Well, how about this? How about a chance to win one of the coolest new acoustic guitars around, the Dandy Hybrid guitar, designed and built by none other than Capo Dave Williams, our Open Mic America's founder. And I'll tell you what, it's easy to win one. So all you have to do is either perform here on Open Mic America or help produce a show as a host or engineer or interviewer. And every time you do that, something like that, you will get you'll get your name and probably phone number, or you get your name on a ticket that goes into a fishbowl that at the end of this year, sometime in December, Capo Dave Williams himself will pull out the winning name, and whoever gets name gets pulled out gets one of these great guitars. That's right. Just perform, be a host, or something else here on Open Mic America, and you could win your very own handcrafted dandy guitar.
Hey, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure that you actually can get one of these guitars?
You're killing me, man. Well, thank you for the setup. Yes, I am, because this is my very own dandy guitar that I won last December. That's right, folks. I, who never win anything, won my very own dandy guitar, and it's a beauty, and it sounds great. It's I can't say enough good things about it. It's very easy to play. Has a great sound. It's got this very peculiar design to it that Dave came up with, and I'm not going to go into it, but you can find more information about it and what makes this guitar so special. There's a link placed in our YouTube chat, and you'll also find a link to the Dandy guitars at the bottom of the openmicamerica.com homepage. So it's a great acoustic guitar. It's kind of like, how does he perform it? Or how does he describe it? Anyway, if
a really good archtop guitar fell in love with and married a Martin flat top and they had a kid, this would be it.
This would be it. Anyway, listen, I can't say enough good things about it. You can win one. You can also purchase these guitars, and you can find more about the Dandy Hybrid guitars at the bottom of the openmicamerica.com homepage. So there you go. And for those of you who never think you can win anything, yes, you can. So let's move on with the show. Next, we are going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And we're going to listen to Teeyum Smith. And you can see him performing at Tuesday night open mic at Yonder Bar in Hillsborough, North Carolina. So take it away, Teeyum.
Thanks so much for having me again. I mean, this is it's really cool to listen to everybody, and it's also cool when people hail from places I've lived. I lived in Berkeley, California in the 80s. So I'm going to take you back to where I grew up, the great state of Illinois, where I went to school. I've been working on them to try to modernize their license plates, but so far unsuccessfully. But perhaps this song will help. I've been down to that Mardi Gras. I've been to Ireland too. The Kentucky Derby. The New Year's Times Square Zoo. Where I found they pound drinks down. Their spirits are sinking. But not like my boys back in Illinois, the good old land of drinking. From Chi-Town down to Carbondale, Quincy to Champaign, they fall for all the alcohol. Do I need to explain? This is where you go, no! Manifest, it's destiny. No call for thinking. In my home state, it's fate, it's great. The good old land of drinking. Now some folks drink them light beers, 'cause they can drink a lot. The hipsters take them IPAs, and us old folks sip our shots. But we got one thing in common. We got glassware clinking every night beneath them lights in that good old land of drinking. From Chi-Town down to Carbondale, Quincy to Champaign, they fall for all their alcohol. Do I need to explain? Manifest, it's destiny. No call for thinking. In my home state, ain't it great? Good old land of drinking. Now ethanol ain't only what they put in your gas. It's the secret to survival when the world just kicks your soybeans and skyscrapers. That's the state of Illinois in 3 words. Soybeans and skyscrapers. One thing can link 'em. Honest Abel partying in the land of drinking. From Chi-Town down to Carbondale, Quincy to Champaign, they fall for the alcohol. Do I need to explain? Manifest, it's destiny. Ain't no call for thinking. In my home state, it's fate, it's great. It's about 1,000 miles up that interstate to that good old, good old, good old, good old. If there was 5 of you, it'd be great. Land of drinking. Oh, thank you. You didn't have to, except for they told you to. Baseball season is upon us. So here's a little baseball fairy tale, starting with the Little League. Perhaps around 1962. The helmet was way too big. I was shaking like a leaf. With everybody watching, I took a big old swing. The bat missed the ball by a country mile. I looked over at my daddy, and you know he just smiled. He said it just takes one. And son, you ain't done. Find the right one. It just begun. Just takes one. Takes one. So I got right back in there. You could hear the crack as the ball split them outfielders. I was running fast, digging around second, halfway to third. Up there in my head, I could still hear his words. It just takes one. Son, you ain't done. Find the right one. Just begun. Takes one. It just takes one. Well, later on, you might say I struck out on my own. First base was elusive, never minded getting home. One day we connected. Walked down the aisle. I looked over at my daddy with a wink and a smile. Hey, old timer, don't you know? It just takes one. And son, I ain't done. Found the right one. We just begun. It just takes one. It just takes one. It just takes one. It just takes one. Thanks a lot.
Wow, beautiful song, man. That's
Great song.
Nicely done,
Very,
sir.
very cool. Great songs.
Home run.
all right. Yeah, I'm going to pass you on over to Mike.
Passed over. Well, not yet. There we go. Okay. Folks, I'm going to tell you kind of a fair warning thing. I like to do this when I encounter something that's a little disturbing on someone's website. I had to say that when I was looking, I sometimes go and look around at people's stuff to see, what they're about and what I might be able to talk to them about. And I have to say it was a bad 5 minutes or so, a few tears in my eyes when I saw the first song on Teeyum Smith's website that was listed was a very sad song called "The Bourbon Is Gone." It was momentary heartbreak. But it turns out he has a lot of other songs on there too, and they're good. All around, you talk about going all around, and you end up in Illinois. I want to know, how did Illinois win the song lottery with you to be featured in that song?
Well, thanks. I saw this article, and I think it was like U.S. News and World Report, which alleged that my alma mater, the University of Illinois, that was the #1 party college, and I don't think any of us who went there and worked our butts off would really believe it. We really would put that on Southern Illinois University, but no, I saw that, and perhaps that was in the back of my mind. I just had that one phrase and had to do something with it.
Yeah, but it's a charming song. It's interesting to hear something about Chicago that isn't just what you always hear about Chicago. It's nice to hear something that breaks the mold a little bit. All right, the second song. That's a monster, dude. I hope you're playing that all over everywhere. And by the way, the biggest party school in the United States is a little place called Chico State in California. Baseball.
Just to make fun of it.
Yeah. Baseball, kids and parents, that's such a nice start to that thing. And I thought, well, that's where that song's going to go. What, you played baseball?
Yeah, I grew up playing Little League baseball. And
what'd you play?
And I'm a big fan of baseball now, even still.
Yeah, I mean, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I used to be a big fan of baseball when baseball was still being played. But first one league, and then the other discarded the game into the dumpster of history. They no longer have any pitchers hitting at all, and so it's not baseball as far as I'm concerned. But anyway,
I understand that. If you throw at somebody, you should have to be thrown at.
You got to stand up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I think eventually they'll correct that. But the interesting thing about that song to me, the thing that caught me, and really, I mean, you caught me by surprise. You turned a corner on me there. That's a nice movement through a number of life's biggest moments there, with the falling in love and the I like the cute little thing about not getting to first base, and then that was amusing. But most of what I've heard from you has been comic stuff, and that song is just flat, touching, and moving. And I wonder, how did that one pop up? How did that come out of Teeyum Smith?
Well, I'd say I do about half and half, comic songs and serious songs like that. If you go to my Spotify album, which is called Participating at Last, you'll see a number of pretty serious songs on there. But I don't know, this song, I just put myself in a position of, there's nothing quite like, you're never quite as alone in the world, than when you're a little league kid with a big helmet that's the wrong one, that's with everybody watching, and it's kind of a
moment of exposure and isolation.
It's kind of, you're really exposed out there, and some kids can take it and some kids can't,
All right, well, two very fine songs. I'm glad to see you here again. I hope things are going okay there in Chapel Hill.
Oh, they're going great, and I really appreciate your support there, Mike.
Yeah, no, I love your stuff, man. I know I'll see you here again. So
okay,
I'm going to turn you back over to Rich at the moment.
Yeah, Tim, it was great hearing you again. So we are heading out west. We are going to Longmont, Colorado. That's right. And we're gonna hear some tunes from Timothy Merkel, who just played, by the way, a 3-hour Easter brunch at a golf course grill today. He's going to be playing there again on May 17th. On May 18th, he'll be playing to a group of 1,500 artist members of the Left Hand Artist Group for their label show. That should be interesting. And he also hosts a monthly open mic in the mountains outside of Boulder in the little town of Allenspark. And one of his favorite open mics is in Longmont, Colorado, called Bricks on Main on Tuesday nights. But this is Sunday night, and he's with us here on Open Mic America. So, Timothy, take it away.
There we go. Thank you so much. Really enjoying tonight. Can you all hear me okay? Teeyum, I'll tell you, I lived in Chicago for 37 years and always dreamed of the mountains of Colorado, and I finally came out here and I'm not going back. So this song is about, this is kind of one of these songs that came to me in a dream, or a lot of the lyric did. It's called Perhaps Collapse. And it's kind of just about how we are sometimes our own worst enemy and get in our own ways more than anything. I keep hearing about total collapse, world economy, the climate perhaps. Dress it up for online chatter, but life and death ain't no laughing matter. The sobering thought, planetary failure. Hope I'm with my lover, won't be able to mail her. Pervasive fear, consuming dread. I hate to be morbid, but I smell something dead. Maybe I was born for a time such as this. Perhaps I'll be a part of the fix. Before the storm I ignored the thunder. I am the rock I should crawl out from under. Humankind, an unkind species, consuming at will till all supply ceases. Problems so big it hides the answer, but even a child can recognize cancer. Maybe I was born for a time such as this. Perhaps I'll be a part of the fix. Rising heat melts frozen tundra. Can't see the forest through the trees I plunder. Look to a savior while I am the problem. Make grenades, pull the pin, and carelessly lob them. Set the blaze and then go fan it. And sing my songs as a prayer for the planet. Maybe I was born for a time such as this. Perhaps I'll be a part of the fix. Total collapse, is it any wonder? I hold the sword that rips me asunder. Here I sit on the shoreline as the lifeboat sails, and it's raining cats and dogs while I chase my tail. Maybe I was born for a time such as this. Perhaps I'll be a part of the fix. Prepare for collapse, heed the thunder, or be the rock I should crawl out from under.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff.
I have to tune up. Okay, this next song, I don't think I played this the last time. I've been doing a number of online open mics, so if this is a duplicate, I apologize, but I call this I Wouldn't Know How To. It's got a lot of scripture reference in it, and I think it started out as a love song, but it ended up kind of being I don't know, an acknowledgement of how, that adage that is God's so big that he can't make a rock that even he couldn't lift, or she. So I wouldn't know how to. Sorry, this is supposed to be capoed. There it is. It's too low otherwise. My thoughts go down to the canyons. They're as deep as my love for you. This love I shall not abandon. I wouldn't know how to. So who's been whispering in your ears, telling you lies? To me there's nothing quite as dear as you and I. So test me now, my love, in this, but I shall not be moved. True love isn't easily dismissed, a fact its testing proves. My thoughts go up to the mountains and climb on their heights with me. Then they go down to the forest, as green as my envy. So who's been feeding you these lines, quoting chapter and verse? There's no love as strong as mine, for better or worse. So my thoughts go down to the canyons. They're as deep as my love for you. This love I shall not abandon. I wouldn't know how to. I wouldn't know how to. I wouldn't know how to.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice. All right, let me pass you over to Mike Simpson now. We can interview you.
Thank you. Hello, Mike.
Whoops.
Whoops. It's just me. I want him. People want to look at him. Particularly since I'm about to mention something about how he looks.
I'm sorry. Just
That's
a
okay.
minute. we are going to add the spotlight.
There
And
we
there.
go.
There I is.
Okay, Timothy Merkel, starting on the lighter note, as you may have noticed I like to do. How many times a day does somebody think that you're the star of The Last of Us?
Star of The Last of Us.
Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Look him up. He's a lot older than you, but you look a good deal like him. Anyway, you may not want to watch the show. It's pretty rough. Um, so I have a couple of questions as usual. That first one, the rock crawl out from under, hold the sword that rips me asunder. That stuff it's so strong that it requires the rest of the thoughts in the song to kind of not have those be the only things you hear in it. So where do those lines come from?
Well, I kind of did a little words thing of what rhymed with thunder, and I came up with asunder and under, and and then just kind of worked backwards from those. I wanted to have multiple rhymes with that word, since the the perhaps collapse in the first part of it
Yeah.
came in that dream, and so then I kind of worked everything to that.
Well, I like your answer because it segues beautifully with what I want to talk about with you next. To what degree would you say your songs are the results of inspiration as opposed to the result of craft? Because you clearly have a lot of craft. You clearly understand the tools and how to use them. Which has the greater weight, do you think?
Oh boy, I would have to say the inspiration has to be there first. Some idea has to be dropped on me, some ping from the universe that I get, and then I work after that. Every once in a while, I'll get a full download, which is just a blessing, but it usually takes a little bit of craftsmanship
Yeah, it does.
in addition.
Okay, second song. Rife with powerful images. What was the choosing and the selection of all that big stuff that you're writing about in that song? Why did you spend that energy on that theme?
Yeah, well, when that song first started being formed, I really thought it was a love song for my now ex-wife. I was very much a church-going person in those days. This was probably 20 years ago that song was first written. I now no longer go to church, but in those days there was a lot of scripture reading going on in my life, so I was picking phrases that I had heard from the pulpit, and kind of worked it into, a God that's so big that, he couldn't love us.
Okay.
He wouldn't know how to not love us.
Yeah. Now, like I said, large ideas. Hey, so there's a comment. Where did I pick it up? Must have been off your website. This is for one of two bounce backs I'm going to do to Marylyn Coffey. She talked about not knowing how to get gigs, and I just wanted to point out, Marylyn, Timothy is one of the people you might talk to about that, because he has a note here. Also, I coordinate musical events and am working on a series of house yard concerts all around Longmont, Colorado in 2025. There's somebody who's doing some of what you want to do. You guys can connect through Open Mic America here, and I think it's a good thing if we do that. If we touch each other's lives here, why not elsewhere as well? And so that's
Yeah.
all I'm going to bug you with at the moment. I hope you don't mind me pointing you out to Marilyn.
Not at all. Be
All
happy
right.
to chat with him.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Nice to
Thank you.
talk to you too.
Thank
Excellent
you.
answers to those rather tough questions. So thank you very much. I hope we'll see you again as soon as can be managed.
Good to see you all. Really enjoying it.
Hey, Rich, grab this. There you
All
go.
right, I've got it. Thank you. Pass the baton. Pass the microphone over. All right, we are now leaving Longmont, Colorado, and going to Grafton, Vermont, where we're going to listen to Gillis Mills. So, Gillis, take it away.
All right. This tune is about a little adventure I had when I was 12 years old down in Texas with a couple of older buddies. It's called Thanksgiving. It was a cold, wet Thanksgiving. For Robert, Jim, and me. Heading to Rattlesnake Island, down on Caney Creek. We were making our way in a rainstorm when Robert yelled, "Looky there." A powerful hawk was flying low, about 5 feet in the air. There were buzzards all around him, working hard in that rain. That hawk was dragging something. It looked like a heavy chain. Yes, it looked like a heavy chain. Well, I had to have a better look, and so I rolled my window down. Got wet. That hawk had a long black snake by its tail, its head banging along the ground. Well, not a good day for a snake, I thought, but a damn good day for a hawk. And the way them buzzards were keeping up, well, they got no reason to squawk. No, they got no reason to squawk. Well, we finally got to Rattlesnake Island on that cold, wet Thanksgiving Day. I had to cross Caney Creek in a leaky skiff. Man, that place was crawling with snakes. Yeah, that place was crawling with snakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a band.
Good day for a hug.
This tune was about thoughts and feelings I've had most of my life off and on, and it's called Don't Know. I don't know the rhyme, don't know the reason. Might be the time, could be the season. It's a beautiful day, I feel bad anyway. I don't wanna work, I just wanna play. I can't get it right for getting it wrong. Gotta finish this thing, it's taking too long. I don't know the rhyme, I don't know the reason. It might be the time, could be the season.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, wow.
Very, very good. All right, Gillis, sounding great. Let me pass you over to Mike.
Gillis Mills, I have a suspicion that you have previously lived in Southeast Texas.
You bet. I grew up there.
Thought maybe so. So,
first 17 years of life down in Houston, Texas.
All right. His music, a review said, is honest, personal, and rooted in the early country blues of Southeast Texas. The honest and personal comes right through. Can you explain to us what it is that qualifies a song that you're writing to match that description of early country blues of Southeast Texas? What are the components of that?
Well, I think that I think that my dad, having grown up on an East Texas farm about 65 miles north of Houston, had a lot to do with that. I'm a city guy. I spent almost 50 years in New York City, and competing there. But I grew up in Houston, and just listened to the music that I gravitated towards was country. Country music as a little kid, and then I got more into Johnny Winter and so forth. That kind of music. But I've always, like I've said before, on other open mics, I just like music, I always have.
Well, those solo blues lines that you're playing are just marvelous, just wonderful
I'm glad
stuff.
you like it.
It's
they feel good to do, that
they do,
first
yeah.
song. That first song, that image, it was so vivid in my memory, and it happened so long ago. And what's ironic is that I've written another song when I was 12 that happened about events that happened when I was 12 years old that are just astonishing to me. It was it's a song about Galveston, Texas, in events that happened down there. And here I am, a tiny kid. But I had older buddies. Robert, the guy I say, Robert and Jim, Robert, Jim, and me. Well, Robert was one of my first mentors. I've had about 6 mentors in my life. Guys that knew a lot more about certain things that they were really good at that I wanted to learn about. And and he was responsible for all of this early kid stuff, because I was always following along behind him in his car, actually, because I was 12 years old. He must have been about 17 or 18, and we got our driver's licenses really young in Texas. I don't want to get, spend too much time on it, but it's interesting.
No, that's good, because the thing that hit me in my initial note on Thanksgiving is I wrote down what images, wow. Marvelous.
Let me just tell you, the opening line in Galveston is, and it's not called Galveston, it's called Little Isle, but it says, there were whores in every window, soldiers all in heat. I was a wide-eyed 12-year-old down on Post Office Street. That's the first line of that song, and and that's all real stuff. I mean, it's just
honest and personal.
It's engraved in my memory, So anyway,
sure. That's great stuff. How much do you write?
Not these days. Not much. I wrote a lot back in the city in New York. I lived in the city, and that's when I wrote the most. And I've written a couple of songs in about Vermont, but I don't write. I don't write much these days.
Does Grafton feel similar to Texas?
No, no. Texas is it's not user friendly. It's a tough. Climate-wise, it's very hot and humid. So that things that like a lot of heat and humidity love it down there, like rattlesnakes, and all centipede, all sorts of stings, all kinds of poisonous things. And the soil is not friendly. It's full of clay and so forth. And Vermont is user friendly. The funny thing is that Robert Frost, you may have heard of him, a poet.
I'm familiar with his work. Yeah.
He's he was originally, and it's really ironic to me, because he's I always thought that, well, he must be a Vermonter, because of the way that the affection that he had for the state, the feel of it. And he's from San Francisco. He was from, and I thought, well, I used to spend a lot of time on the coast on film shoots and stuff, and I thought, wow, that I can see why, in a way. Vermont it's just got its own little special thing about it, not in no way politically, but I mean in a natural way, the seasons, the air, the water, the animals, everything about it is really surrealistic to me,
Yeah, I think to a lot of people. Well, Gillis Mills, I really appreciate hearing your music. I'm really glad you're here. Once again, let me take the liberty of extending an invitation to you to sign up again and come let us hear more of your stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to hand you over.
My pleasure.
Hand you back to Rich.
Right. You bet. Great songs. Well, now, all I can say is, oh, Canada, because we are heading up to Powell River, British Columbia. And we're going to listen to Pat Buckner. Pat hosts 2 monthly song circles on the BC Sunshine Coast and a weekly creative writing workshop at the public library. He's a frequent attendee at several online open mics and will be performing this summer at the Texada Island Blues and Roots Festival. He has been on here many times, and we always look forward to hearing him. So, Pat, take it away.
Thanks, Rich. You say I should forgive you, forget the things you've done. You've changed, you've grown, you're not the same. I'm still your only one. You Maybe right now it's hard to say, but you made a choice there along the way. Did you forget now you went away? I'll have to live with that. Well, I thought that I could fix you, but you're tired of this game. But you're not broken, you just don't care, and I'm a moth to your flame. Well, I may be right now, it's hard to say. We all make choices along the way. You made a choice now not to stay. You'll have to live with that. I believed you when you told me that we'd never part. But then you left without a word. My world fell apart. Next time was no different. You begged me to return. I took you back to my bed, even though I had concerns. But now I do know better. I know you'll never change. You still think that I'm a fool, that I've stayed the same. But listen close now when I say I made my choice, now go away and don't come back now another day. You have to live with that. You have to live with that. And I'm okay with that. Okay with that.
Nice.
Very nice.
Good song.
So here's a new tune. It's called It Could Be Worse. We set out on a Sunday drive, looking for somewhere new. Ran out of gas on a dead-end road. What are we gonna do? Stranded on the highway in the middle of the night. No phone, no fuel, and no warm clothes. Nowhere to stay for the night. Now we're hiking through the woodlands. Something doesn't feel right. Trails disappeared, now the sun's going down. We won't make it home tonight. Lost out in the forest in the middle of the night. No phone, no warm clothes, no shelter in sight. But I guess it could be worse. We could be here all alone, by myself without you, helpless and alone. Whenever this world gets the best of you, and there's nothing you can do, take a deep breath now and hold my hand. I'll pull you through. We're sailing on rough seas, no land in sight. No easing of the wind, nowhere to set anchor, no harbor in sight. Drift on the ocean on these wild windy nights. No phone, no fool, no flotation device. We'll make it through the night. But I guess now it could be worse. I could be here all alone, by myself and without you, helpless and alone. But whenever this world gets the best of us and there's nothing we can do, just take a deep breath now, hold my hand, I'll pull you through. Take a deep breath and hold my hand, I'll pull you through.
Yeah.
Very nice, God.
Right, let me pass you on now to Mike.
Mr. Buckner, good to see you again.
You too, Mike.
So I've got a couple of curveballs for you, but let's start with the songs here. That first one there, the learning experience. Was there ever any chance that that might have ended up as a murder ballad?
Well, no, it really, no, I don't think so. Just the trouble with writing songs from real life.
Yeah.
Is you can't hide from what really happened, And I wrote a memoir a few years ago, and I was having real trouble writing it. I thought maybe I should just turn it into a novel,
Right.
because nobody's going to believe this stuff. And what ended up happening is I just couldn't change things because the truth sort of weighs out all the time, So in this case, it was, this song sort of came out of the memoir, where I was in a really difficult relationship that I really wanted to get out of, but I couldn't. But the other person kept leaving all the time, and she kept coming back, and I kept saying, "Sure, no problem, come back." And so finally one day I sort of said, "Oh, well, maybe it's okay if you go, and I just won't invite you back." And so that's where that song originated.
All right. Yes, I understand what you're talking about, how truth can overwhelm any attempt at fictive writing sometimes on those kind of things. It's very, very well taken point. Could be worse. I just got to say this. It's cute, it's clever, and it's a very cool description of the power that two has over one. It's just a really nice song. You have anything you want to say about that?
Well, that's kind of, that's what the song's all about. I mean, I've been writing a lot of songs lately about what's going on in your country and in our country as well, to some degree, but not nearly as bad. And I started thinking, boy, am I ever lucky living where I live? It could be worse living somewhere else. And then I started thinking about my long-term relationship, which has been happening now for close to 40 years. And without having a partner to pull you up, you can feel pretty desperate and alone, and I'm fortunate that way. I have a wonderful partner, and she's really steadfast, and I would do anything for her.
Good man. You're lucky. How do you manage? I noticed that you're a management teacher and practitioner of project management. I myself have that same sickness. How do you manage preparing for OMA, for doing one of these? What do you do to get ready for this?
Oh, you mean for like an Open Mic America?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm no longer a management consultant. I managed to escape work about 10 years ago. What I do here is I first check my list and see if I've done these same songs before, and try not to duplicate. And then maybe one of the reasons I worked in that field is because I really need deadlines. If I have a deadline, I'll sit down and prepare for something. And so, and like most people, it's usually the last day before. But now that I have the time and the luxury of being able to play all the time, I sit down and I try and get the guitar out every day. And the biggest challenge for me course, at my age now is keeping my chops up and keeping my voice, intact. And so I find I just have to kind of exercise the muscles, and the more I do it, the more I enjoy it. That's just one of the great joys of my life. It has been
Cool.
for over 50
And
years.
then in the two-sentence perfect answer that will solve someone's problems entirely from bottom to top, could you please tell us, how do you get gigs?
I don't anymore very much. I don't go seeking them out. I let them find me. But there was a time, I really had to get out there and work hard at making a living playing music. But, those days are difficult for anybody these days. I think, you have to play just to keep playing. You can't, I don't think you can think of it as a living anymore just because the work isn't there. But I think one of the things that's important is that if you write songs, you want them to be heard. For me, I live in a very remote place. It's 2 ferries from Vancouver to get to here, so there's not a lot of gigs available. But the one blessing of COVID was being able to do the online mic thing. I've got a community of 100 people now that I know around the world, and I see them just about, a number of them every week still. And so that's where I find my gigs, is online with other people. It's not the same as being there in person and live, but it's sure nice to have a fellowship of like-minded musicians.
And we who you have included in that fellowship are grateful for your presence. It's always great to hear you here and the other places that I hear you. I always love it when I see your name on the list. You're a great songwriter, and I enjoy your stuff a lot. Thank you for joining us. And that, I think, is the last interview anybody has to put up with tonight, because I'm going to hand this back to Rich.
Oh, a sigh of relief. It's the airwaves. Well, there you go. Hey, I just want to throw in one thing on the how do you get gigs, because I'm part of a little trio, and we're always looking for gigs. The first thing you got to do is find out where the gigs are. So in your area, they're either in little pubs, or they're in wineries, or they're in breweries or whatever. Find out where they are, and then you just got to go in there and try to get the gigs. You got to get out there. Some places you can go online, restaurants and that. They will have a page where you can apply and send some songs and whatever. So they're out there. You just, it's what we least want to do. Anyway, enough of that. Just my perspective. So here we are at the end of another show. Hard to believe, but here we are. So what I would like to do right now is thank our performers quickly, one by one. And performers, feel free to wave. Marylyn Coffey, Thea Hopkins, Topher Gale, Hallie Hammer and Randy Burge, Teeyum Smith, Timothy Merkel, Gillis Mills, and Pat Buckner. So remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all OMA performers, and you can find archives of all of our shows. I would also like to thank, of course, Mike Simpson, tonight's great interviewing host, and Daphne Ramil, tonight's engineer, who kept things flowing from start to finish. I'd also like to thank our Zoom guests who attended tonight's show and were part of our audience tonight. And I'd like to thank our audience on YouTube. So, if you like this show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print your own posters from our website and hang them somewhere where folks can see them. You can also get these cool, let me get up a bit, get these cool Open Mic America t-shirts. You can get those through our website, openmicamerica.com. You can even design them the way you like them. Have the logo as big or small as you like. And finally, please check out your local and virtual open mics. We have listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on our website. We are always here the first and third Sundays of every month, So our next show will be Sunday, May 4th, same time, same station. Stay tuned for a full lineup of our next show, full lineup of performers. And with that, I will say, hey, everybody, thanks for attending, and good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.